So I'm going to show you how to check your website health score for free using Ahrefs Webmaster Tools. So all you got to do is just Google up Ahrefs Webmaster Tools. You'll see this landing page and sign up for free. From there, click accept the terms of service, and then you're going to have to sign in with a Google account. So then just click sign up for free. Now I will note that you will have to have access to Google Search Console in order to perform this process. So we're going to be importing from Google Search Console. So now we're just going to have to sign in to our Google account. Click continue. And continue. Now for this, I like to do start first crawl now and then schedule weekly crawls or weekly audits, sorry. Import. Now that we've imported the site, as you can see here under health score, it's starting to crawl. Now, depending on the size of your website, smaller websites can be finished in as little as an hour, maybe even 30 minutes. Larger websites can take up to even a week in some cases. So it depends. If you have a really big e-commerce site, it can take much longer. So for your typical website, I would typically just wait about an hour or so. So in the meantime, go do something else. You can actually play around with the Ahrefs free tools here. Check out your domain rating, your referring domains, backlinks, keywords and organic traffic, and so on. So I'm going to pause this video and then come back. So as you can see here, this is actually from a different website. I didn't want to wait, but typically how it's going to look, you're going to have your health score within Ahrefs. So as you can see here, I have a 79 out of 100. So it's pretty good. Although, even though it's good, I still would want to fix all these errors. So what I like about Ahrefs is it does give you all the top errors. So these would be considered like critical errors because they're red, and it's going to give you the total amount of URLs that are affected. Now, if you're not sure what some of these errors mean, you have the little question mark here. So it's going to give you basically a brief explanation as to what this error is about and then how you could potentially troubleshoot it. And if you want to see the actual URLs that are affected, just go to crawl to open this up in a new tab. That's how I like to do it. And you can see here, like for example, these are all the URLs that have that are orphan pages, basically. So that's a site architecture issue. You can play around a little bit more. This is typically where I spend my time though, like focusing on the critical errors first. And then, if you want to see like all errors or all issues, you can have you have this whole page here. So it's giving you basically, and it's categorizing them between the level of importance. So error would be red, warning would be yellow, and then just a notice, like a heads up, would be this little blue icon here. So that's how I would also prioritize these. Now, I will give some actual bonus tips here for if you are going to then go implement any, if you are trying to fix any of the site issues before actually getting started. Like, so now that you've addressed that your site, okay, it has some issues, but now what do I do next? The first thing is creating a backup of your site. So make sure you have a backup. Can't stress that enough. The next thing I would be doing after I have a backup is updating all my plugins and themes. So making sure that I've gotten rid of old plugins, replaced any redundant plugins, and then just making sure that everything is updated because this can clear some errors. The next, we already talked about briefly, but it's just prioritizing the errors. So just focus on the critical errors first. And then lastly, approaching errors one at a time. So work through the errors. But what I mean by this, what I've seen a lot of times is sometimes your errors can be a little bit inflated because it's a site-wide error, meaning, for example, if you fix it in one place, it could clear potentially hundreds of errors, if that makes sense. So that's kind of how I would just take a look at it, but just you only really know just by going step by step. So if you have any questions about how to check your website health score, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'd be more than happy to answer those questions. I appreciate your time. Thank you.